Hi, Tom here from MyCoachy, your technology wellness company. In the demo today, we're going to give you an overview of the complete solution of MyCoachy and how it all fits together. Now, did you know that 160 million people a year start diet and exercise programs? The vast majority of them don't meet their expectations. And in 2017, 310 million wearable devices were sold, and most of those wind up in drawers. Have you ever wondered why? Well, it's about survival. The last few 100,000 years of evolutions, our brains have gotten wired for quick and easy and creating habits, which is our brain's autopilot. And as we all know, once we get a habit, they're a bitch to break. Well, MyCoachy fixes that. Trackers and programs focus on your activities, which is important and a big part of this demo and product, but it's just part of the puzzle. We take your goals and activity and add some of the most powerful brain management therapies to train your brain to create new permanent positive habits. The focus on the body without the brain is like, I don't know, pancakes without maple syrup, warm bread without butter, or mashed potatoes without gravy. Okay, that had to be about the worst analogies given that this is a wellness company, but you get the idea. Well, let's go ahead and jump in. We'll do a quick overview of the product. But for this demo, we're going to assume that you've signed up on the mobile MWeb app and you've completed your assessment. Check out those demos if you have any questions. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into the MyCoachy application. It's at the bottom. You see the MyCoachy app. We're going to click on that, and that brings us into what we're logging. We can log automatically if we have a Fitbit or a wearable or an application, or we can manually enter the items. But let's go ahead and we see some of the areas now we're already tracking. We're tracking hydration, nutrition, some activity. We've got some custom trackers, but there's a few more that I want to add. So I'm going to go into the upper right-hand corner and hit my options button. Now, before I do that, you see in the upper left-hand corner, there's a calendar button. So if you do forget something or you don't get around to it, you can always go back into a prior day and you can add that. So let's go into the options button. And what we're gonna do is it's gonna come up all the options that I can track, and I'm gonna pick a few more options that I'd like to track that I haven't been so far, because I've been tracking my water, but I need to start tracking my coffee because I've been drinking way too much of that. And you can see some of the areas that I'm already tracking. I won't go into a whole much more of those, but you can see your indulgences. You can track those as well. And you could even track, if you look under activity there, your cleaning, so you can prove to your better half that you, yes, have been in fact cleaning, and you can show them the number, your progress there. But you can't fib. Can't fib on that one. And then there's also biometrics, which we're coming out with, which is a really cool automated way to track some of those really critical areas. So that goes there. I'm going to click on the upper left-hand corner, get out of that. And now you see coffee is added, as any other areas that you wanted to track would be added. So I did hit my magical 8 glasses of water today, so I'm really psyched about that. Unfortunately, I've had 4 cups of coffee, so I have gotten a home equity line, and Starbucks is very happy about that. So I'm going to go down following below. I'm going to tap the proteins. I had a protein bar this morning, and I just had a shake a little while ago. So I'm well on my way towards my target goal for that for the day. And I've got my activity. You can kind of see some, where I'm with some of the activity. I did some swimming and had that log this morning, and then just kind of gives you an idea there. But you've even got a better view of this, which we'll go into in our dashboard in a moment. But custom trackers are some areas that through my goals I've set up portion control, had breakfast this morning, followed my portion control. So I scored a 1 there. That's great. And then I'm also it's actually a brain exercise for me for my habit. I'm trying to do 10 minutes of Italian lessons a day because I'm going to Italy, and I don't want to sound like a total tourist, although I'm sure I probably will. So, and then again, you can track your indulgences to monitor the things that you think you're doing a little bit too much on. So that's the profile section, or the login section. But let's go into the profile section. Now, here the first thing we want to do is we want to make sure we're taking full advantage of the automation. In the middle there, you see connected apps, which is in red. I'm going to push that, and it shows me I'm already connected to my Fitbit. If I wasn't, say I had a Garmin, which is the third one down, I would press on Garmin. and that would bring me up. I put in my email, my password, it would sync up, and life would be good. So we've got that. Oops. Let's go ahead and go back. Okay, so that's where we're connected apps. The middle here is the MyCoachee score, which is a baseline reference point. You just you want to make sure that's moving in the right direction, which is up, with the more healthier you're getting, and that compares you to the men in your age group from USDA and a whole bunch of other areas, so you kind of know where you stand in your demographic, and then also with MyCoachee user base. So that's the score in the middle. You can track your hydration, which is, I had my 8 glasses of water the day, how important that is. I'm going to click back out of that with the X on the upper left-hand corner. I can see my activity from my, this is going to be my fitness activity, and my cardio, the number of steps that I'm doing. And again, compare me to those demographics. Green is good, red is bad. Okay, so that kind of gives you a feel for that. And then you can also track your sleep and your food, etc. in the upper, the nutrition based on. So we'll just go into that, see your servings, etc. So you can do that. So that kind of gives you a dashboard, an overall view of where you're at. And then now we're getting into kind of the meat and the real heart of MyCoachee, which is at the bottom. I'm going to go over to my library, and you know what? I'm going to pop back into my log, because my meditation, I'm going to, say I did another one of my 5-minute meditations. I would add that in there, and that would be something I would pull out of after I did it out of my library. So it kind of shows you the cross-reference there. Now, your library is those behavioral treatments that I was talking about. They're so important. We initially load those treatments in your library, or your health locker, as we call it, based upon your assessment. Now we're continuing to modify those. We use data analytics, your personality, and your activity to adapt your treatment with new content and coaching for permanent behavior change. Now, these are digitized, proven therapies that would cost thousands of dollars if done in a traditional one-on-one basis. So it's just a huge benefit of having these digitized therapies. But let's click on that. And we'll see there in mine, I've got some healthy living. I've got some 5-minute meditations. I've got exercise, boost, relax, and rejuvenate. I've got my unstoppable self, just so you can see some of the goals they have there. All I would do is push that button, and it would start the application. But this one is for helping me to be more confident, to avoid external negative influences, to increase my ability to think more clearly. And this is just 20 minutes at the morning and 20 minutes at night for this particular one. Goes in my subconscious as I just relax and listen to it. And it just it refreshes me, and it opens up those new habits and those new neural pathways. Okay. So last but not least, we have your community here, and let's go and do my community. Oops. Sorry about that. There. Geez. Anyway, so your community, this is your community feed, and you can in here put your favorite diet goals, you can work with other people in the MyCoachee community, and you can join other communities as well and communicate within the group, and join different clubs and make posts, etc. So that works out really well. So with that gives you a brief overview of MyCoachee and its complete solution. And we look forward to talking again. Take care.